Right, well, good evening. Here we are for Facebook Live on a Wednesday night tonight rather than a Thursday. I'll explain why later. It's quiz night tomorrow, so just give it a bit of a teaser on that. So, as you can tell by the music, tonight it is our Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll as our beer tonight. I'll just switch that off and show you our bottle. So here we are, Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll, one of our most popular beers, 5% IPA, beer number 20 you can see there. And again, one of our beers named, of course, after the Ian Jury song. And of course, they did a great film about his life called Sex, Drugs and Rock and Roll. So if you get to see that film, it's a great film as well. So let's pour that nice fizz there, and let's pour it now. This one, the glass is a Chelmsford Beer Festival glass. This 2014. Now this was brewed, first of all, Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll, for the Chelmsford Summer Beer Festival at the suggestion of the Chelmsford branch of CAMRA. They came and visited the brewery, did a brewery tour, we did some tasting, and they said, oh, can you, for this Summer Beer Festival, brew a beer especially for us? We saw all the Ian Jury songs, but we didn't have one called Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll. He says, can we do Sex, Drugs and Rock and Roll? And also they wanted a 5% IPA, so we brewed it especially for that festival. It wasn't, I don't think it was this festival, I think this was a couple of years beforehand, but you can see that's a previous Chelmsford Beer Festival glass. So we brewed it for that festival, and it was meant to be just a festival special, but it was so popular that we carried on brewing it, and it's now one of our most popular beers. So you can see it's there, nice on IPA, India Pale Ale, for those you don't know what that means. So there's a whole story behind that. India Pale Ales, they were brewed at the time when Britain ruled India, and a lot of British people lived out in India, and the beer was brewed in this country and shipped out there. And it had to be especially strong beer, especially hoppy beer, to survive the journey out there. Okay, so there is lovely, 5%, it's lovely and refreshing, but it's also the hops they dominate in there is the thing with it being IPA. Now, traditionally IPA, of course, was British hops, but this one here, they've become popular recently by using American hops in there. And we've got 3 American hops in there, one for sex, one for drugs, and one for rock and roll. And we add them 3 times in the brewing process. 3 ones are Cascade, Chinook, and Willamette. We'll add them in the boil when the beer is being boiled up, so that gives the bitterness. We add some more in there at the end of the boil called the aroma hops to give that lovely aroma there. And then a 3rd time we add them for dry hopping. So once it's fermenting away, we add them, and those are not added at warm temperature at all. So you get even more of those hop aromas coming through. Lovely beer, it's a lovely 5% beer, one of our most popular beers. And as I say, we've got that now it's available in the shop still in bottles, so we've only got a limited number of bottles in there, so get in quickly if you want some of those. We've also got it in bag-in boxes, so if you want to drink it on draft at home, so we've got those 5 pints, 9 pints, we can prepare 18 pints as well, 35 pints if you won't manage to get through that. That'll be great, but most of this was 5, 9 and 18 the most popular. And when that pub is open, also it's very popular on our keg, so a little bit more carbonated, a little bit cooler. So one of the most popular beers. So just to remind you that if you do want our beers, we're still doing a local delivery service, doing that throughout lockdown. And even when lockdown finishes, we'll still have that as a local delivery service. So we can get the beer to you, we can bring the pub to you even if you can't go to the pub. Okay, so if you want to order some of this, then give us a bell, 01277 500 121. We'll be there tomorrow. We can arrange, we're delivering tomorrow, so we can get deliveries local to you tomorrow, or alternatively we can do a click and collect service for you. So no problem in getting beer to you, and we're there for click and collect Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday. Other beers we've got available now, we've got a new beer in bag-in boxes available this week. So this one is called Blonde Bombshell. It's a one-off special. It's a stronger version of our Billericay Blonde. 5.9%, so it's a lot packs much more of a punch than the normal blonde. So we've got that available in polypins, bag and boxes, so you can have that on draft this week. And we also will shortly have that, probably be a 2 or 3 weeks yet, we'll have that in bottles as well. There'll only be a limited number of bottles of that, so again, get in quickly if you do want the bottles of that. And then of course we've got all our favourites in bag and boxes. Yeah, we've got Billericay Zeppelin, Billericay Dicky, Billericay Blonde we'll have next week, but we still have got some Christmas blondes, so that's still tasted lovely. The people who've had that in bag and boxes have absolutely loved it, so it still is a fantastic beer. We've got the Ribbon Stick as well, always a popular in the bag and boxes. And we've got a couple of stronger beers. We've still got Clever Trevor and Rocket Full of Rye, both at 5.8%, the first one, Clever Trevor, and 7% for the Rocket Full of Rye. So if you want something a bit even more powerful, we've got those as well. And of course in bottles, again, the classics, we've got the Blonde Dicky, Zeppelin, Rhythm Stick. We've still got a limited amount of Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll. I think we've got down to the last few bottles of Mayflower Gold. That's probably gone, but we've got the Mayflower Gold Vintage, which of course that we saw last week. That's a very special beer, and we've got a limited number of polypins of that this week as well. And then we've got for our dark beers as well, Chapel Street Porter, the famous Chili Porter, and the Barista. They're all available as well there. So remember, get in quick if you want to get an order. You can order online as well through our website if you want the mixed cases or some of the gift packs. And of course, next week being Valentine's Day, we'll get just over a week till Valentine's Day on 14th February, of course. It's Sunday this year. And if you're a beer lover, what could be a better gift than one of our gift packs of beer? So drop those hints, or if you know a beer lover, then I'm sure that'd be something they'd really love on Valentine's Day. We do 3 packs of beer, 6 packs of beer, and even a dozen bottles. So again, order online, we can deliver it to you for the end of next week, so it's there ready for Valentine's Day. Okay, so other things that happen, remember I said that we normally do this on a Thursday night. We're back to this again next Thursday night, but this Thursday night it's the virtual pub quiz night. It's always a popular night, first Thursday of the month when the pub is open. Sadly, we're not going to be open for a little while yet, but we still want to keep that quiz going. So we've got a virtual pub quiz tomorrow night. Now, if you are interested in that, and you haven't entered your team yet, so it's be via Zoom. It's just a bit of fun. So if you haven't entered yet and you're interested in joining us, just drop us an email or look at the post on Facebook, and that tells you the details of how to join in. So that's a virtual quiz night tomorrow night, and on Friday, of course, is the virtual pub night. So if you want to join us for a chat and a beer, then that's a good time to do it on Friday around about 6 o'clock onwards. And this Saturday's not pizza night. We do it every 2 weeks. So the 13th of February, we've got another pizza night. So pizza takeaway. So look forward to that. And remember, that's the Azure wood-fired pizzas. They're gorgeous pizzas. So we'll remember if you want those for Saturday the 13th. Remember to place your order, and of course our beers are an excellent accompaniment to those pizzas, so you can organise to pick up some beer as well at the time. Or if you want to do one, we've still got the Newhall wines, sparkling, rosé, white and red. They're very popular, so if we've still got bottles of those, so if you want to order those as well, instead of beer or in addition to beer, then that's great. So still enjoying this Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll. So it's lovely and refreshing, but it's got a lovely, beautiful bitterness to that, and then that beautiful aroma that you get from those American hops. Okay, so obviously it's we're all missing going to the pub, but obviously it's not something that's safe to do at the moment, and we'll hopefully be able to do that. Later on in spring, hopefully be able to open up the pub as well. So we look forward to seeing you then. Now, of course, we will hopefully. Some of you were probably out on your doorsteps an hour ago, clapping for Captain Tom Moore. Sadly, passed away yesterday. So we was there. So we perhaps have to remember him now. really a hero of our times. He reminded me a little bit of one of my heroes as well, which is our own Captain Tom Moore. He looks a bit like Captain Tom Moore. That's our Freddie Sowry, who we welcomed to the brewery back in 2016. So Freddie Sowry sadly passed away in 2019 at the ripe old age of 96. Now he's an RAF man rather than an Army man, and his father, Frederick Sowry, was famous because he was the person who shot down the Zeppelin over Billericay during the First World War. And Sir Freddie, his son, and about 19 members of his family came to the brewery to drink some of our Billericay Zeppelin on the 100th anniversary, where a memorial was unveiled on the day, and they enjoyed some of Billericay Zeppelin. We put a special beer for them, Sour Ale for that, so that was a really special occasion. And you know that Sir Freddie is a bit of a hero of mine. He's a great man, I'm sure much missed by his family, and I think one of the great things about him was that he remembered the past and he learned from the past, but he was very much a person that you live in the now and live in the future rather than live in the past. Okay, so we have a glass. We remember Father Tom. We remember Captain Tom Moore. We remember everyone else who sadly passed away. There's 100,000 other people there. We remember every one of those. We can't stop remembering those. So remember all of those people. So we raise a glass to you. We're thinking of you, and we raise a glass for you. So hope to see you soon. So stay safe. And this one is for you, Captain Tom Moore. Captain Sir Tom Moore. Cheers.